the other thing that I wanted to check with you, we were talking about so many measures, and you also mentioned that inflation has been a problem. And some central banks have already started increasing interest rates. Would you be comfortable if RBI also talks about raising interest rates? And what is your comfort level now? And what kind of guidance are you giving them?
Well, at the moment, the inflation in India, we have a range we have to keep inflation within. And the last few months when the range was breached, the top end was breached, there were concerns, and through various measures that we took up, like enabling reduction in the duties for importing edible oils, reduction in duties for getting more pulses in, because the acreage of crop under pulses had probably come to be affected by floods and in some region by droughts. So because those steps were taken, the breaching of the upper limit had been contained, so it's well within the limit now. So from the government side, through fiscal measures, inflation is kept well under control. And the Reserve Bank only recently, through its MPC committee meeting, has kept up its accommodative stance with no indication for anything to be changed now. So inflation is being well managed, if you ask me. Of course, there have been times when it had breached due to seasonal supply constraints, but it's now well under.
No, you did mention about oil, and that is, India is an importer of crude. So do you see that again going higher, because India's, consumption is not going down, and
of course consumption is inelastic, and that is going to have a bearing. And there's, as I said, enough and more taxes already on fuel in India, and both central and state taxes are already heavily on them.
Right.
So yes, that will be a concern.
So inflation will remain a concern
because of the crude
prices. Okay. And since we are talking about RBI, Governor Saktikanta Das's tenure is coming to an end. Have you even reviewed whether he would get an extension? How has he done in this COVID time? Because
you expect me to say it here on the media? I thought it was fairly obvious for everybody to see that the government and the Reserve Bank have worked well together.
Okay.
There's been quite a good synchrony between the two. And because of that, the synergy which came out for everyone to see is there for all watchers. So how they performed is not the question. Together we have served the economy.
All right. And stock market in India, not just India, globally it's at record highs. The RBI has said sometime that there's a bubble that is being fueled by excess liquidity. What is your comment on that?
No, I respect the RBI's observation, but I also think that the market also looks at the fundamentals of the economy. The macroeconomic indicators have all been absolutely strong. And markets are not played just by one or two segments of our economy. Foreign fund flows, industries raising in debt market resources, performance of companies which are listed, the way in which startups like enterprises survive and grow, declaration of so many unicorns, such things as macroeconomic fundamentals, manufacturing PMI later, manufacturing PMI, services PMI, all of which are indicating the economy's clear signs of revival are there to be sustained. And therefore, I think that also has a play in the stock market. I think it can also be that it is indicative of the strength of the Indian economy.